Question number 19 brings in I into play, brings I into play. And so if you weren't here that day, first thing you have to just know is that I is the square root of -1. That's the imaginary number. Remember when we did negative radicals this year and we pulled that I out first if it were negative? And so in that same way, we need to also know that I squared, let's square both sides here and see what happens. If we square I and we square a square root, the square root cancels. So I squared is actually just equal to -1. And so you've got to kind of know two things, that I is the radical -1, but I squared, the radical cancels, and we just have -1. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to highlight this for later. This is key information that will help us solve this problem. So let's go back here and let's figure out what this is asking us to do. It wants us to put it in this form, a plus bi. I don't know what that means yet. They want to know what b is, but let's just start doing this. We got to boil this down into basically as simplified terms as possible. Let's start using the box or FOIL method. And if I use the FOIL method by distributing, I'll get 4 plus 28i, and then plus 3i plus 21i squared. Why? Because 3 times 7 is 21 and I times I is I squared. Now from here, you can start combining some things together. Our i's get combined together. Okay, the 4 can't be combined with anything else. And this 21i squared, that's what we have to now do to bring in this idea of I squared, because they want this in terms of I in the final step. And so I squared can be simplified by identifying that I squared is -1, right, from this relationship here. And so what that allows me to now do is turn this into a -21. And now I can combine these two like terms. Okay, all of that was just to be done so that I have a regular number and a number with an I on it. And if I compare this to what they want A plus BI. There's my A, my regular number, plus BI. BI, there's my BI. And so if I think about which one is A and which one is BI, there's A, there's B. So what's the B value? B is 3. Think about the key information there. What steps did I do? What did I need to know to reduce this? And finally, how did my answer need to be presented?